Last week, Neil Young announced that he was going to be removing his music from Spotify. According to the Rolling Stones, a letter which was later removed from his website addressed to his management and record label demanding his music be removed from Spotify, noting that the company can have Rogan or Young, not both. Spotify began removing Young's music Wednesday evening. Joni Mitchell later announced that she'd be joining Young in removing her music from Spotify, both on the premise that Spotify allows false information about vaccines to be shared. The Joe Rogan Experience is the most popular podcast with an average of 11 million listeners per show. Certainly this has gained a lot of attention for Neil Young and the Joe Rogan podcast, but it can have unintended consequences, something that's known as the Streisand effect. The Streisand effect is a phenomenon that occurs when there's an attempt to hide, remove, or censor information, and the unintended consequences is that there's actually going to be more awareness of that information. The term was coined after singer Barbra Streisand attempted to sue a photographer for taking a picture of her home. The photographer was documenting California coastal erosion. Streisand was suing for violation of her privacy. In an effort to remove the picture of her Malibu estate, image 3850 had only been downloaded 6 times, 2 of which was from her lawyer. After the $50 million lawsuit was filed, the case became public. This resulted in more than 420,000 visitors to the site in the following month. So in a similar fashion, when someone says don't look, your first instinct is to look. Whether it's a child selling bottled water without a permit or a negative review against your company, perhaps one of the best things you can do if you want it to go away is just to ignore it. But in the efforts of trying to censor it or quiet it down, is that you're actually drawing more attention to it.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
John Ralphio?
Neil Young was criticized for trying to censorship Joe Rogan. However, Neil expressed that he's in support of free speech and has never been in favor of censorship. In an effort of trying to remove Joe Rogan's content from Spotify, it's likely that we're going to see more people's attention getting turned towards the content that he's sharing on his podcast, not less.